Willie D Live.
What's up, family? When the body of a 24-year-old black man in Paris, Texas was discovered in the middle of a busy road, law enforcement declared the case a hit and run by an unidentified driver. Next thing you know, the small racially divided town's worst fears were brewing, with evidence pointing toward two white men who picked up Brandon McClelland in their Dodge truck before he was found mutilated and dismembered. Forensics performed by the Texas Rangers found blood from Mr. McClelland and other DNA evidence on the undercarriage of the truck, which had the victim's family screaming justice and Jasper-style lynching. Now that term refers to a black man who was killed in Jasper, Texas in 1998 by the name of James Byrd, killed in similar fashion, hooked up to a pickup truck and dragged till he was unrecognizable and his body parts were scattered all over the place. Now, what does that have to do with the price of chewing tobacco in Frisco, Texas? Well, are y'all familiar with this guy? That is Toby Shook. He's one of the defense attorneys for Karmelo Anthony, one of the attorneys who got Karmelo Anthony railroaded. That's right, I said it, railroaded. Now, what I want you to do, fam, is take a look at this article here. Two white men accused of killing a black man in a racially charged dragging death in East Texas were released from jail Thursday after murder charges were dismissed, the prosecutor said. Got any idea who the prosecutor is here, fam? Who dismissed the murder charges of two white men in Texas accused of dragging a black man to his death? Ding, 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 ding. You guessed it, but just in case you didn't guess it, Shannon, Finley, and Charles Crostley were released Thursday afternoon in Paris after a judge granted the special prosecutor's motion to dismiss the case. The two men had been charged with fatally striking 24-year-old Brandon McClelland with a pickup truck in September following the trio's late-night beer run in Oklahoma. Now check this out, family. The case was hampered by a lack of eyewitnesses and physical evidence. Last month, a gravel truck driver gave a sworn statement acknowledging he might have accidentally run over McClelland. Special prosecutor Toby Shook said the investigation will continue and that Finley and Crossley have no restrictions on their freedom. The gravel truck driver is unlikely to face charges. After investigation, it has been determined this case should be dismissed in the interest of justice, Shook said. The decision is about the state of the evidence in the case as it exists today. Do you see what's going on here, family? Toby is such an incompetent special prosecutor that he not only dismissed the charges against the two alleged killers, he also dismissed the charges of the guy who came forward and said, hey, I think I may have ran over him. Not sure, but I think I may have done it, even though his DNA was on the underside of these two guys' vehicle. It's on the underside of their truck. The other guy comes in and says, no, they didn't do it. I may have done it. I didn't do it, but I may have done it. Cool, was that cool? And they let him walk. So nobody go to jail for killing the black man. Like, okay, if the evidence don't support he killed him, this guy come forward and said, well, I may have killed him. You know what that was? That was the good old boy system again, saying, hey, man, you go in and just throw the mud at it, just throw some doubt out there. I just need you to throw the doubt out there. I got it from there. We'll make sure that we don't prosecute you. We'll give you immunity. Yeah, we'll give you immunity. But we need that testimony for backup, Oh, we're going to do what we want to do. But, just in case somebody come looking at the case later or whatever, we can create that doubt. And boom, next thing you know, that was the plan all along, fam. The play was never to get justice. It was never about justice. That's why I tell y'all, when y'all start talking about, the law says, that's against the law. Man, these people don't give a damn about the law. They don't care nothing about the law. The law is to protect them and punish you. That brings me back to this guy. This guy, Toby Shook, who did a juke move on justice for Karmelo Anthony. He is supposed to be representing Karmelo Anthony, and he gives one of the worst defenses ever. Pretty much sold Karmelo out. Not pretty much, sold Karmelo out, right? I've heard people say, oh, he's a fine lawyer. Well, he was hard to find at that trial. He was very hard to find at that trial. In any event, now you go over here and you look at these characters. These characters dragged a black man. This is Brandon McClelland, who they killed in 2009. They killed him. This is 11 years after James Byrd was dragged to death. These two guys were pretty much copycats. So they dragged to death Brandon. And this guy right here, who was the special prosecutor, he's on the opposite side of the desk this time. This guy dismisses all charges against these guys and let these uncivilized mutts go free to roam the earth. And you cannot tell me that since they have been free, they haven't preyed on others. This was way back in 2009. So we're talking, 17 years? Yeah. So anyway, fam, I don't think it's possible for someone with Toby Shook's background, his legal background, in not representing, but in his inability to prosecute raging racist, where the evidence is overwhelming and he can't get a conviction. In fact, he don't even fight for the conviction. He just dismisses the charges. And then he gonna turn around and we think that he can properly defend a black kid that's accused of killing a white kid? No, fam. This right here reeks of good old boy. The white guy looking out for the white guy. This has sellout all over it. This has railroad all over it. You cannot tell me that this dude is not what he's been accused of being. Yeah. I can't even say it, fam. Now I can't even say it because, them people, they on my bumper right now. But you know what I'm talking about, fam. You can put two and two together. Y'all know that don't mix. You can't put Willie D in that position where I'm the prosecutor for these dudes accused of dragging this dude. These dudes accused of dragging to death this guy. You can't put me on a case like that, and I can't get a conviction on these bastards. Oh, they asses. Look, let me tell you something about these people, fam. Y'all, for all of y'all that's, y'all head into the law. What does the law say? And well, if the evidence, if it wasn't that, then you can't have a case, and you didn't say anything about this case. You didn't protest. You didn't do any of that. That is because this is what you wanted. And then, see, this is the danger of allowing these type of people to get away. Because you put them back out on the streets, their mentality hasn't changed. In fact, when they beat a case like that, they become even more emboldened. Now, they're even more emboldened because they got off. They got away with it. Now they think they're really untouchable. They already thought they were untouchable when they did it. They presumed that the law would protect them, not punish them. They presumed the law would protect them, and they were right. They rolled the dice, and they were right. They protected them. Take that away, and they're not even behaving like that because they know that there's consequences to their actions. So you put them back out on the streets and you think they ain't killed again? It's been 17 years. It's in them. They're demented. It's in their head. They're heartless. These are not like regular human beings. This is something different. You think that you did society a favor by letting them back out on the streets? This is why I say these people in the courts, these prosecutors and judges, they really don't care about keeping the public safe because they allow too many criminals to go free. They allow killers, people who they know are rapist. They know that they're killers. And they'll let them go anyway. Toby Shook. Keep waking up. One day it's going to be all over. No more talk.